Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, thank you all for tuning into Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Germ, and we are going to be talking about some music today. We are going to be reviewing something for the first time in a while, and that something is going to be the new album Deadbeat by Tame Impala. Tame Impala, for those who don't know, is an Australian rock band out composed of lead singer Kevin Parker. He's pretty much actually technically he is Tame Impala. I mean, they have a live band that they use when they're going out and performing on the road, everything. But he is the man who records, produces, and pretty much does everything about their music. And that was my first time pretty much like discovering that as I was doing some research before I did this. And they're just a very interesting band. I've been a fan of theirs for, I want to say not too long, I'd say a good 3 or 4 years, but they've been around for a good decade, a little over a decade. They've had singles since 2010, been releasing albums since then, were doing shit before that. They just honestly the oldest stuff that I had heard before we were doing research for this was Currents, their 2015 album. But again, they got shit even before that. They just got a deep history. They are just a very interesting group. It's just interesting the way they do it. They got a lot of psychedelic influences in their music. It's real trancy, and that was sort of I think what really got me into them. But speaking more about Deadbeat, the album that we are going to be reviewing, it is a little under an hour, so it's not too long of a listen. Only about 12 songs, and the one thing I will say about it that I will say that is just an overall positive. There's nothing on here that really just sounds bad. It's the perfect vibe music. That's the best way that I can honestly describe their entire discography for me. I don't really go into their songs or go into it looking to find things I'm going to be sitting there just trying to find a message for or lyrics or anything like that. They have good, just sitting around. Honestly, if you want to just do some sitting down and just study or just do some writing, you can just put on some good Tame Impala. It's pretty good. I think that's the main thing I like them. They remind me of Coldplay, but without lyrics and without necessarily a message in the music. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But speaking about this album, I think it started off strong. My Old Ways was a really good song. It's one of the ones that I have saved. But if I'm being honest, it is pretty much after that there is a pretty much a big long drought. Like if I have to give this album an honest grade, I'm gonna give it a B minus, and that's just because I just don't really have anything that stood out to me. And I know it sounds like I'm really, really taking a hard pivot after all the good praise I've given them. And I don't want that to get misconstrued because, like I said, this is a solid album. It's good. I didn't really find myself skipping any song, but I didn't find myself like pausing or wanting to repeat or like go back and be like, damn, I wanted to listen to that again. There was nothing that really caught my ear that much. It's elevator music, and not even in a bad way. Not bad like I'm just stuck and it just has nothing to it. It's dull. Just in a I didn't find myself grooving or wanting to just sort of vibe out as much as I did with some of their older projects. And I'm going back and finding their older stuff like their first album Interstellar. That again, I this one just didn't hit the same. That's why I can't really say like I don't want to call it a C or a C plus. Like I feel like I'm sort of almost conflicted on this one myself, and I do think that this is one that I might have to listen to a little bit longer, let some songs grow on me. But it's just nothing has really stood out to me as of this recording, as of me listening to this. And it was just really a lot of just empty vibes. And I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, if you want to just have some good music to just sort of chill and relax to, this is it. But it's definitely not something that's gonna just make you want to go out of your way and just grab it back. And maybe it sounds better in a club, maybe it sounds better if you're at a rave, and maybe it sounds better in that type of environment. But just sitting down listening to it, it just wasn't doing it for me. I've tried to listen to some of it at work and just had it playing up there. Wasn't doing it for me up there either. The songs are long, so they're good in that sense. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I saved about 4 songs out of the 12, so I saved about a quarter of it. But if I was going into this one excited, I thought I was going to maybe just want to save like a lot more than that or just have a good portion of it, and it just didn't do it for me. So I got to give it a B minus. I'm not going to say you shouldn't listen to it. You definitely should go check it out, but don't go into it thinking that you're going to just find anything that's going to that's going to blow you away or anything like that. It's going to be real good vibe music, real chill music if you're just trying to sit down and or just have a little kickback. But that's all I really have to say about that one. Like I said, I still support Tame Impala. I think if you are not familiar with their music at all, I think you should definitely go back and check it out. It's real good, like psychedelic music. It's modern psychedelic rock, and that's some dope shit. But that's all I really have to say about it. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, or subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening in to me in on. And other than that, have a good day. Be good people. Make sure you drink a lot of water and tell your family and your friends that you love them. Peace out.